Hey guys, it's Happy Conscious Girl here, and I wanted to talk to you about something I've just realized today about the hunger scale. I've been using the hunger scale. I'm on VLCD day 11 today, and I don't know if any of you have heard of the hunger scale. It's from a book called Weight Loss Apocalypse by Robin Woodall. And it's a fantastic book. I totally recommend you getting it if you haven't already read it. If you're interested in understanding how HCG is working in your body, how it organizes fat metabolism, and how it works with the hormones like leptin and insulin. Fantastic book. And the main point in that book is that mostly when we eat, we're eating for emotional reasons. We're not eating because we're hungry. And that's true for me and probably true for most of you. And the solution that she gives to that is very, very simple. As well as dealing with your emotional issues, which we all need to do in our own way, and I've been doing huge amounts of work over the last 10 years, 20 years to clear a lot of that, and I've come probably 90% of the way on that. There's now only a couple of times in which I eat out of emotional reasons. One is when I get my period. One is when I watch TV late at night or I watch movies, because I have a childhood programming that I learnt from my father, because he was very lonely at night and he used to sit and eat in front of the TV, and I learnt that from him. And, you know, for many years I was single and lonely, and so I ate late at night, sometimes junk food, sometimes not, but I always ate when I wasn't hungry. And the third one is if I have a big argument with someone, which is very rare for me because I'm fairly peaceful, but I have a few family members who are pretty stormy, and if I have an argument with them, then I used to always, eat chocolate afterwards to calm down. So I'm working on those three remaining emotional triggers for me, and I'm using this HCG protocol phase 2 to really shift those, because I'm not hungry that often on this, so it's really obvious when there's other reasons why I want to eat, like because I'm watching TV, and I've made strict rule with myself not to eat in front of the TV, and when I get my period I'm just going to stick to the protocol, and if I have any upsetting thing with a family member I'm still going to stick to the protocol, so it will help me break the pattern of eating in those three situations when I'm not hungry. So that's fantastic. So basically she says you have to do your work to shift your emotional issues. That's part of it, and so I'm doing that. The second part of her solution is she says you have to start to learn how to only eat when you're hungry and to stop eating as soon as you're not hungry. And she's developed something called the hunger scale, which is fantastic. I've been using it for the last about 4 or 5 days, and it's really been revolutionary for me. Basically, you just assess before you eat how you're feeling. Are you feeling hungry? And the scale goes from 1 up to 10. And a 5 means I'm not thinking about food at all. I'm totally neutral. I'm not hungry. I'm just not thinking about food. A 4 means you're starting to get hungry. If you were at a restaurant, you could probably wait, but you do need to eat, but you could wait. It's a good time to start cooking. You're feeling a bit peckish, a bit hungry. 3 is when you're really hungry, and by that point, you're going to eat junk food, or you're just going to go to the quickest fast food shop because you're just hungry. You have to have food now. You can't wait. The 2 is you're so hungry that your blood sugar's crazy and you're irritable and you've got a splitting headache and you feel like you're about to pass out. And 1 is you're basically, passing out. You're just totally beyond the point of hunger. And she says you really should start eating when you're around a 3.5 or a 4. So you're not down to a 3. You're not at the point where you're so hungry you have to eat junk food. You're just a little bit less hungry than that. So you're still rational. So basically you're hungry, but you still can make rational food choices. So I've been playing with that, waiting till I'm hungry. Don't letting myself get too hungry so I'll feel the urge to cheat and break the protocol, but just eating when I'm starting to feel, okay, I'm hungry, but I still feel in control of what I eat. I'm still rational. Or, I'm a 4, I'm a little bit hungry, I could wait, so I'll start cooking my fish now. 10, 20 minutes when it's all ready, my whole meal, I'll be at a 3.5, it'd be a good time to eat. And then she also talks about when to stop eating. So once you've started eating, you'll go through 5, which is where you're not really thinking about food. If you were to stop then, you wouldn't be hungry or not hungry, you're just neutral. She says go a little bit past that to 5.5. and stop eating then, which is basically when your hunger is gone. She says if you were to keep eating past that, or if you were to sit for like 20 minutes after you ate that, your level would go up to about a 6 where you feel really satisfied. So if you stop at 5.5, in 20 minutes or so you'll be at a 6 anyway, where you feel really satisfied. Your hunger's gone, you're feeling great, you're satisfied. If you keep eating past a 6, you get to a 7, you start to feel really full, your stomach's uncomfortable, you're getting towards being really full, that feeling of fullness. If you keep eating past that, you get to an 8, that's when you start to get a really upset stomach, and your button's starting to pop out, and you're like really, really, really full. You're absolutely like, couldn't eat another bite. If you keep eating past that, you're a 9. It's like, stomach pain, really, really sore stomach, bloated, really feeling ill. You might want to vomit. And a 10 is pretty much like rush you to an ambulance, you've totally overeaten. You made yourself really severely ill. So I've been playing with this. It's been really, really interesting. And I realised that my whole life I've probably eaten to a 7, which is till I feel really full. Sometimes I've eaten to an 8, where I felt, like my buttons popped open and I'm feeling a bit sick. But usually I'll eat to a 7, So I have the feeling of fullness. But the profound thing I learned from reading her book is that really, oh, there was a beep then, sorry about that, is that if I stop at a 5.5, when my hunger's gone, I don't need to eat to fullness, because within 20 minutes I'm going to be at a 6, which is satisfied. And it's such a strange thing to practice stopping when your hunger's gone. And I was like, how do I know when my hunger's gone? And so the question I came up with to help me with that was, okay, I've eaten half my fish and then I'll stop and I go, okay, if someone instantly transported me to a main street and there's restaurants and shops, would I go into a restaurant now? Would I be hungry enough to go and order some food? And I go, actually no, I'm not actually hungry. I wouldn't go into a restaurant right now. Then that tells me I'm at a 5.5. My hunger's gone. So that's a question I've been using every time I eat, maybe half the meal or quarter of the meal. And imagine I've been transported to a main street with lots of restaurants. I go, would I really go and find a restaurant or go to a shop or go to a supermarket and buy some food now? Actually, no, my hunger's gone. So I'll stop. I must be at a 5.5. And that's been amazing. So I'm really grateful to her book because it's teaching me how to eat on the hunger scale instead of eating just until I'm full, which has been my habit. And I really recommend reading the book, and I really recommend playing with this because it's quite profound. And the thing that's happened today is I've realised that I probably should actually leave this experiment with the hunger scale until P3. I've done it for a few days now and I feel I'm really learning it and I think it's fantastic and valuable, and I'm going to definitely do it on P3 as my entire guide to what I eat and how much I eat and when I stop and how much fat and everything. But I've realised that for me it's not healthy for me to do this hunger scale on P2 because it's making me eat much too little calories. Because actually when I stopped at 5.5 each time, when I only ate when I was hungry, I found that my calories, I actually list my calories, how much I eat every day. My calories started dropping. Here's my little list. My calories started dropping from 430, 440, 420, where they had been for the first week. I never really eat 500 because I'm not eating the Melba sticks. I don't eat bread. I've never eaten bread. I haven't eaten bread for 10 years. I'm not going to start eating bread on the HCG protocol. It's crazy. Start eating wheat and gluten and stuff. So I tend to be fairly health conscious. So without the Melbas, just eating, fish or eggs and vegetables and the fruits, I was averaging 430, 440 calories, 420, something like that. Once I started eating on the hunger scale, I really noticed, actually I don't need that much to take my hunger away. I feel really fine. And then a few hours later, I have my next thing. And I noticed when I looked at it yesterday that my numbers had dropped into the 300s, 363 or 395. I had one day where I had 312. One day where I had 318. That's really low. But I felt fine. I wasn't hungry. Anyway, I've noticed that in the last 4 or 5 days, my numbers have been lower than in the first week. And I just assumed it's because I'm on the second week of the protocol. And my partner's a very scientific person. He likes to analyze everything. And he said, he saw all this, and he said to me, I have a feeling you're not eating enough calories. And I was like, but I'm only eating when I'm not hungry. He said, maybe that's not useful to do while you're eating such a restricted calorie diet. Maybe start it in P3, the hunger scale, because he can see the value of the hunger scale, because it teaches you to stop overeating, so it's brilliant. And I thought, shit, maybe he's right. And then I looked at this and I saw the correlation between my stats going down and my calories going down, and my weight loss going down. And I thought, you know, he's right. So how can I figure this out? So I'm very lucky that I know how to do muscle testing, and my partner also knows how to do dowsing. And I don't know if any of you know anything about muscle testing, but I really recommend you learn how to do it. Go on the internet, go on YouTube, find tutorials, learn how to muscle test. And it's basically a way of asking your body which foods are good for you, or how much you should eat, or when, you know, things like that, how much quantities of medicine you should take, whatever, if you're sick. And so I muscle tested how many calories should I be eating every day. And I also got my partner to dowse it to double check. He does dowsing with a pendulum where he can ask questions and he gets really accurate answers. And the other thing you can just do if you don't know how to do those things is just really listen to your intuition, or ask your body, how much calories do you need right now while you're doing this HCG? Anyway, so I muscle tested and Alan dowsed it, and we came out that I need around 420 calories a day if I'm going to bed before midnight. If I'm going to bed at 2 or 3 a.m. like I've done a few times, then I need like 450 or 460 calories because, you know, I'm up later, I'm burning more energy. But normally I would need 420. And what we dowsed was that for me, I actually need to eat a ratio slightly higher in protein and less in everything else. So we muscle tested it and dowsed it and found out I should be eating 150 grams of protein twice a day instead of 100. And so I've just had my first lunch since I made that decision, and I had 150 grams of fish instead of my normal 100, same amount of vegetables. And so when I do that tonight, that should bring my calories back to about 420. And if I'm going to look like I'm going to go over, I'll have less vegetables. I'll make sure my protein is 150, and I'll adjust the fruit and vegetables around that to make sure I end up at 420 calories. So I feel really happy about that. I feel glad that I spent a few days trying out the hunger scale, because now I really believe that it works and I really trust it. And it was a big wake-up call to me to realize how much I used to always overeat by eating past the point of hunger being gone. And I'm really excited to get back to using the hunger scale in P3 when I think it'll be fantastic, because it'll help me decide what to eat, how much to eat. But from now on, the rest of P2, I'm going to go back to 420 calories with a bit more protein. And we'll see how we go. I'll report my numbers over the next week, as I do every day. Just for the record, my fat liberation tally today was I lost 300 grams. So that's quite a low number for me. I've been up at, 800 grams or something in metric terms, a lot. So I've been up at 2 pounds a day, a long time. So I think when I up my protein, it will probably help. And even if it doesn't, I think I'll feel better. It feels right to me. My muscle testing is always accurate, and my intuition confirms that it's true. I should not worry about the hunger scale, eat more protein, do the hunger scale in P3. So thanks for watching. I hope that this has helped some of you guys who are thinking of using the hunger scale, and definitely recommend reading Weight Loss Apocalypse. It's a fantastic book. Alright guys. I think I might make another little blog now about something else I've realised, but I'll do it in a separate one so I'm not going on for too long. So I'll see you all later.